Hey guys, my name is Chantal. I'm the founder of the Mama Mystique. I do pregnancy support for women through their journey from preconception to pregnancy to postpartum. And I'm a mom of 2 beautiful babies, and I'm a doula in training. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about postpartum anxiety. That's something that I dealt with both of my pregnancies, probably more severe with my daughter. I guess it manifests in different ways each time, but I do believe that there's definitely a hormonal aspect to postpartum anxiety. So I kind of came up with some different coping mechanisms to help me deal with it. So, and also something that I found really helped was different herbs and supplements. So that's actually what did the majority of helping me to calm down. So with postpartum anxiety, one of the biggest things that I found to be helpful was just like deep breathing. So deep breathing and grounding yourself, as well as like self-talk. So if you're having like an anxious thought or something that is completely unrealistic that you're scared about but feels so real, talking to somebody, preferably like someone that knows you, so they can talk you down, or talking to yourself, like using positive self-talk, or kind of like when you're having an irrational thought, talking yourself down. After my daughter was born, I had postpartum preeclampsia, so I had very severe like medical postpartum anxiety, as well as like I guess you could call it like separation attachment anxiety from my daughter, and also just like all the first time mom things, like is she breathing, constantly checking on her, not wanting to leave her with anyone, just like very extreme. So at the time I thought it was totally natural, but looking back I can now see how that was just a way that postpartum anxiety was manifesting. But the biggest thing I had was definitely the medical anxiety, due to the fact that I had never had any significant medical issues my whole life. And then when I had my postpartum preeclampsia and I hemorrhaged, and the whole birth, it was very traumatic and I almost didn't make it. So I had constant fears and thoughts that I was dying, which was very bizarre. Something I had never dealt with before, but any odd sensation, any weird, like, literally anything, I thought the worst case scenario. So, and also people, and sometimes when you're that deep in your anxiety and you try and share it with someone, you sound so ridiculous that people write you off, and then your anxiety is like so good that it like tells you that they don't know what they're talking about. So it can get really deep. So trust me, from someone who had postpartum anxiety, I know how it is, I know how hard it is. And definitely if you're experiencing postpartum anxiety, tell someone, tell a friend, tell your spouse, tell your doctor, tell your doula, tell your midwife, because you don't want to suffer alone. It's so good to get help and support. I personally didn't really reach out to someone, but thankfully everything ended up okay. But there was, I had my natural techniques. So there's also some herbs that I found, like herbs and supplements that really helped me. After my daughter was born, I wasn't really so much into it. So I wasn't using them, and I think that's why it was worse. After my son was born, when I started experiencing the anxiety, I started using the herbs, right away. So one of the best things, obviously, like super well known, you can give it to babies, is the chamomile. So it's just like a very nice calming tincture. You can add it to your tea, mix it in your water. It calms your nervous system. It's safe for breastfeeding, and you can pretty much use it all day long. So this one I love. Another one is skullcap, also breastfeeding friendly. That's why all the ones that I chose are breastfeeding friendly, which is why I chose them. So these two were super helpful in those early days. because I wanted to be super cautious right at the beginning to not take anything that, you know, I wasn't so sure about. After my son was born and my anxiety sort of started ramping up, like in terms of sleeping, I found these to be so helpful. So these are the Ollie Stress vitamins. So they have ashwagandha, GABA, L-theanine, and lemon balm. Lemon balm is a great one. I used to take it alone, but this one has it. So these, I would take 2 of these at nighttime when I was feeling anxious. Let me tell you, these things work. I would have the best sleep when I took these. And I would also use magnesium glycinate. So when I would take these are, so you take 2 and it's 200 milligrams. I would take 4 of them. So I would be taking 400 milligrams. But I actually saw like a natural doctor and she recommended I could take up to 8. So up to 800 milligrams of magnesium, and that would help me sleep and feel calm. And this really works. I love this, and this made a huge difference for me. Another thing that really worked, this is like a homeopathic remedy. It's called Anxiocalm. I would take these when I was feeling anxious. To be honest, like, I took it, but I didn't notice the biggest difference with these ones. These ones are truly amazing. I still take these. So these are the Highland Stress Busters. Can you see that? Yeah, so they have L-theanine, chamomile, and lemon balm. So these are just like a really nice, gentle stress relief gummy. Not quite as powerful as these, but when my anxiety started calming down and I started weaning onto these with the magnesium instead of needing these Ollie ones. So now I'll take some of these in the evening. And yeah, so that's kind of what got me through like the initial phase. I recently started taking a new one. This is called Blue Vervain. This one is not necessarily for anxiety. It's more for irritability and like if you feel you have short temper, or just like, you know how sometimes in motherhood you can just feel short, you can just feel like frazzled at your wit's end basically. So Blue Vervain apparently helps with that. And I've been taking it and it's really good. It helps me sleep also. And this is also breastfeeding and pregnancy safe. It actually is said to help increase your milk supply, as does ashwagandha, which is in some of the other supplements. Yeah, so that is what I took naturally to help me get through. I never ended up taking any like pharmaceuticals because I never actually ended up telling my doctor that I was having anxiety. Actually, that's not true. I did. I told them I was having the medical anxiety. And they didn't really say anything. They didn't really offer anything. So that's kind of why I had to, you know, go at it on my own. I think if I had like told them like, look, this is like really hard, they might have done something or offered me something. But yeah, I did it all naturally. All the herbs mixed with meditating, grounding, you know, self-talk, that really helped. Along with, you know, I ended up having to do some like counseling for PTSD related to my traumatic birth, and that also really helped a lot. You know, so like just basically a lot of times the anxiety is like all the hormones, but it could also be if you had any sort of trauma during your pregnancy or delivery, it could be related to that. And when it's like trauma related, sometimes the herbs, it's like doesn't help as much, but they really just help to calm you down. So any physical symptoms that you're having because of the anxiety, they help to like really calm you. And I think that they are so like underused. A lot of people don't know about them. And I love how they're all breastfeeding safe. So that's why I want to share them with you guys. Hopefully this can help someone who's experiencing anxiety, postpartum anxiety, just anxiety being a mom. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions, and let me know what's helped you guys when you had postpartum anxiety. Bye.